Good evening, folks. This is Deb. And this is yet another shut the fuck up. Because the Republican Party is the gift that keeps on giving. They are an indefatigable font of material for this show. So we're going to start out tonight with just a look back at the commentary by Donald Trump that Kamala Harris was never really black before. She just turned black because she's running for president now. She's always identified as an Indian woman. Well, quite frankly, I don't ever remember Kamala Harris as identifying as anything but a black woman. Okay, I remember none of what Donald Trump remembers, but as we all know, Donald Trump is not factually correct 99.9% of the time. Okay, he's a liar of the highest order and a distorter of almost every piece of information he is given. So it strikes me that there are a few people in the Republican Party that I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about guys like Ben Carson and, Tim Scott, who I actually like to call Uncle Tim Scott, and a few of the other supposedly black men in the Republican Party, because I'm wondering when they're going to figure out that they're black. Because right now, to me, they're like a bunch of little sheepdogs, black men with no self-respect, like Byron Donalds. He's another one. No self-respect, just prostrating themselves at the feet of a white supremacist, a man who would happily don a Klan outfit with a hood if he thought he could get away with it. It seems to me that perhaps these guys who really haven't figured out that they are black yet should shut the fuck up until they do. Although I'm not sure that would change their behavior much. Secondly, I'd like to take a look back really quick in the Olympics, and I'm actually considering a bigger video on this topic, but I'd like to talk first here about the Internet Transvestigation Unit of Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and J.K. Rowling, who literally bullied Amani Khalef, the Algerian female boxer who competed at the Olympics. Now, she eventually won the gold medal, which made me supremely happy. But in the lead up to that, she had a bout against her Italian opponent, who actually bowed out after 46 seconds, saying that she's never been hit so hard in her life. Immediately, the Internet Transvestigation Unit jumped on that, stating boldly that Amani Khalef is a transgender female. She is not. Nope, she isn't. Nope, she was born a woman, and she's always been a woman, and she is actually not in any treatment or transgender care. But, that doesn't stop them, because apparently you can't be a woman and actually be strong. The fact of the matter is that Amani Khalef has trained for a very long time. And she has also, I have to say, competed on the world stage before and has lost plenty of competitions as well. But that doesn't matter to these people, because these people are, at their core, bigots. Okay? They're not just racists, they're bigots, and they're homophobes, and they're transphobes. But I'm hoping that Amani Khalef will have the last laugh, because she has actually formally filed a cyberbullying lawsuit against Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling, and she also mentions Donald Trump. And the country of France takes that very seriously. The country of France has stated that even though Donald Trump may not have been formally named in the suit itself, that he will certainly be part of the investigation, because he just could not shut the fuck up. I have to say, however, that Amani Khalef wasn't the only person who suffered at the hands of these idiots. Apparently, there was a female rugby player. And because she had a particularly strong jaw, they declared her a transgender female as well. And of course, they've been tormenting Katie Ledecky. She's not new to that. She's been hearing that for a while. The American swimmer, they also called her a transgender female because of her incredible musculature. But again, let me say this. These women look this way because they work out to look this way. They're in competition, which is honestly something these idiots could never understand, because basically they sit around all day trying to find people to victimize. This is all they've got. And I have to say that I find J.K. Rowling one of the 10 most loathsome women on the planet. And she has ruined Harry Potter for me forever. I'm just going to say it. I haven't thought about it, talked about it, wanted to watch another movie, and I've gotten rid of all my books because I just can't abide that woman, period. I can't. But I'm not done with loathsome women. I got one more for you tonight. And that would be Ann Coulter, who managed to slither out from underneath her rock to victimize Gus Waltz. As we know, we've seen all the pictures of him in the audience as his father was accepting the nomination for the vice presidency, crying and yelling, "That's my dad." Because why? Because he was proud of his father. He's excited for his father. He's excited for the country. The Republicans aren't excited for the country. They're not. They're interested in destroying this nation as it is right now. But that's another story for another day. So let's talk about Gus Waltz. We know that Gus Waltz is neurodivergent and on the spectrum. And guess what? So is my daughter. Neurodivergent and on the spectrum. But I'm going to ask this question in all seriousness. What if Gus Waltz wasn't? Right? What if Gus Waltz was just a kid who is excited for his father? Gus Waltz's wife was crying too. His daughter was excited. But because Gus Waltz stood up and pointed to the stage and yelled, "That's my dad," they also bullied Gus Waltz. Now, Ann Coulter has taken down that loathsome post she put up, but that doesn't change the fact that she did it. She is also on my list of the 10 most loathsome women on the planet. And someday I'm going to read that whole list to you, but it's not going to be tonight. I'd just like to say something. The problem with the GOP right now is they cannot stand the vision for America that is being presented this week. A multiracial, multicultural nation where we all try to get along and accept each other for exactly what we are. So we can take all of this nonsense out of politics and discuss and debate real issues, as opposed to wondering or worrying about who's what and who hangs around with who. And if someone raises their hand and yells, "That's my dad," is he weak or is he strong? The other whole problem with the Republican Party is their vision of strong men are men who are bullies, loud, obnoxious, insulting, racist, and bigoted. That's not the stuff of Doug Emhoff or Pete Buttigieg or Beto O'Rourke. Those aren't real men in the eyes of the Republican, what I call them, cult. The cult of ugly. But you know what? Real men, they don't bully. They don't have to insult. And they can stand behind their women who may be just a little bit stronger than them. I'll talk to you all later.